Hello, everyone, and welcome to your February 2022 Twin Flame Soul Connection Energy Forecast. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, this reading is meant to pick up on the energies between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine as we move through the month of February. So, if you know that you're on the Twin Flame journey and this reading specifically resonates with you, I would love to hear from you down in the comments. However, as we all know, everyone's journey is different. So, if you find that this reading is not for you, be sure to check my channel for other messages that you might need to hear. So it's important to remember as we move through these readings that the concept of time, energy, and gender can swap roles however it's appropriate to your storyline. So feel free to reverse those roles. And don't forget to like this video, you guys. Thank you so much for your support in all of my videos that I have posted. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And please don't forget to tap that notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever I post a new reading. So again, to my subscribers, you guys are amazing. I love you so much and I really appreciate your continued support of the channel. I know we lost a few people over the last couple of months just based on probably me not posting as much content as I usually do. But for those of you who are sticking around, again, I love you guys so much and your energy is so appreciated. So if you're new and you are subscribing today, be sure to check the description box below for all of the social media links and ways to reach out to me. Everything you need is down there. So if you are resonating with this general reading, you can always book a private reading with me. And as a matter of fact, you guys, the 2022 Outlook readings were so much fun, and I understand that we're in February. January is already over, but still, you can book that same reading with me if that's something you're interested in. I really enjoyed that style of reading, so if that's something you like, definitely comment that below as well. But anyways, you guys, again, this is a Twin Flame Soul Connection reading. So if you know you're on the journey and you resonate with the Twin Flame labels, keep in mind that the most important part of your journey is your spiritual ascension, becoming your most authentic self, rising up in vibration, and becoming all that you are meant to be, okay? So regardless of whether you are with your Twin Flame in the physical or in separation, please understand that separation itself is an illusion, okay? You cannot be separate from that which you are. And if you are a twin flame, then your twin flame is you, okay? You are one and the same, two bodies and one soul. So again, if that is what you resonate with and that is your journey, then this reading might be for you. So remember, I'll be looking at the energies of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine and how we'll be moving through the month of February. So if you feel as if you're resonating more with the Divine Masculine in this reading, remember that the roles can reverse many times throughout the journey. It just depends on your specific situation. So I will, of course, start out with a general message for each of the twins. So let's talk Sacred Geometry Oracle, you guys. I feel like I haven't used this in forever. It's one of my favorite decks. I'm not sure if any of you are OG followers of Chandler Christine or Chandler the Light, but she was actually the very first person that I ever watched on YouTube, and this was a deck that she used a lot. And so I had to have it, but I hope you guys enjoy this reading. Like I said, take what resonates with you, leave the rest behind, never force it to fit. So, while I'm shuffling and focusing on this energy, a card actually blew off of the stack of the Feminine's pile, and it is the Seven of Swords. So that might come up in the reading. I'm just going to kind of tuck it back in. So on some level, I mean, you could consider this as a past energy or something just to be highlighted, something Spirit needs you to know before we start the reading. So Seven of Swords is a very sneaky energy, right? It is a underhanded energy, trying to get away with something and not get in any trouble, right? Doing the old sneak a leak. So regardless of whether this is some sort of a third-party situation or if it was, still is, whatever your situation is, this energy of not being honest, okay, or trying to plan or scheme behind the scenes could have been a reason for your physical separation, right? And that's always a theme that pops up. So a lot of times when you connect with your twin flame in the physical, as a lot of you already know, for the most part, it usually is a third-party situation. And it doesn't have to be romantic, as we speak about a lot. But a lot of times there is some sort of dynamic that keeps the twins apart because there is spiritual growth and things like that that need to happen. So with the Seven of Swords falling out on the floor, I just kind of feel like Spirit's trying to say that any sort of dishonesty, any sort of secret planning or sneaky behavior is going to be revealed, or perhaps it has been revealed. So this could be a relevant theme for the reading, like I said. So that was just kind of a side note. Let's get into the main part of the reading. So as always, I'm going to pull for the masculine first and then also for the feminine. So for the masculine, we have communication. Oh my goodness, I just got to chill. So the frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart space, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. So in the month of February, communication is going to be very highlighted for the masculine. Now, keep in mind, this could be talking about 5D communication, 3D communication, as everyone's situation is different. This could just be something that's in the mind and heart of the masculine. Something they want to do is communicate, right? But I feel as if a lot of masculines have been forced to grow up with a blocked throat chakra, right? Not able to truly speak their heart for fear of appearing weak or vulnerable, right? So with this card popping up in February, I feel as if a lot of masculines are going to be reaching out, especially since Valentine's Day is coming up, okay? Now, me personally, Valentine's Day, doesn't really hold any significance just because I feel like it's been over commercialized. There's so many unrealistic expectations that go along with the holiday, so much false hope and disappointment that follows, it's just one of those things, right? So I try not to put so much attention on it because I feel like when you're with someone, you should show that love on a daily basis and not by giving gifts or going above and beyond to prove yourself, again, seeking that validation, but in an honest way, from the heart, genuinely, consistently. So a lot of these masculines are probably thinking about not just wanting to communicate, right? But also how they would go about communicating what's on their heart, okay? So for the feminine, oh my goodness. So talking about the throat chakra, we have the throat chakra, okay? Lots of masculines have been keeping their mouths shut and going along with whatever, right? Going along with the plan, going along with the show. But the feminines have always spoken their truth, right? They've always kind of put themselves out there and been open to this communication. And I think it's kind of ironic that this card came out in the reverse. Typically, the reversal of an oracle card, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but again, it's kind of a little sign for me. Some of you might be feeling like you're blocked at this time. Or you could be viewing, and I say you as divine feminines watching, you could be viewing the divine masculine as having their throat chakras blocked, not being able to speak their truth for whatever their circumstances or reasons, right? So the frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. So feminines, some of you may have experienced some disruption of that peace. And the throat chakra coming out in the reverse could also be saying that some of you may have had to have some difficult conversations, or that they may be coming up here in the month of February. But either way, I feel as if this energy of forward motion and Mercury stationing direct today. Okay, Venus retrograde is done now. We're still technically under the influence of the new moon in Aquarius. So lots of positive forward motion. If you didn't already watch the general collective reading for the new moon, I will urge you to also take a gander at that reading, because overall, I feel like it was the same message. There's a need to speak your truth and go after everything that you've been manifesting, right? And now that there are no delays and no backward motion of the planets, there's going to be that propelling into everything that we've been planning. So maybe there are some difficult conversations that are going to be coming up for some of you. And hopefully for a lot of you, these will be conversations with your divine masculine, working through things and coming to a solid ground of being honest with one another about what's been truly going on behind the scenes. So the mutual energy of the twins is empowerment. Again, notice how I had to turn it around from being upside down. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. So since this card came out upside down, again, for some of you, this could be very symbolic. Maybe you have felt as if things have been out of your control, or maybe you've been in a position where someone is trying to emasculate you or take away your power. And I think that Spirit is trying to remind both twins, divine masculine and feminine, how important it is to stand up for oneself, how important it is to remember that we are all connected, that we are all a part of source of love, and uniting not only with others, but with each other. Okay. When I see empowerment in the reverse, I think of someone who could potentially have some self-esteem issues, or being worried about the future and being afraid to take control. So if you resonate with that message, or you feel as if your divine masculine is in that energy of feeling unempowered, then like I said, these conversations may be coming up to clear the air and possibly to clear the pathway for coming into union, right? Coming into union and connecting at the source of love. So, interesting messages to start the reading. I'm going to go ahead and pull, oh my gosh, Empress at the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to pull for the masculine, and this is the deck I'll be using, the Enchanted Tarot. So, of course, we're going to dive in and see what the masculine will be thinking, feeling, and in general going through over the next few weeks. And I love that the Empress is at the bottom of the deck, because I feel, like I said, a lot of these masculines probably have their divine feminine right at the forefront of their mind, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, especially if they're still lingering in karmic connections with people who need that Valentine's Day validation, if you know what I'm saying. So maybe contemplating the energy that they're about to put into these connections that they don't secretly want to be in deep down, and wondering what it would be like to create something with the person who they consider their divine feminine, their true Empress. So what is on the mind of the masculine for the month of February? What is in their conscious awareness? The Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. So very work focused right now, very dedicated to creating stability for themselves. So for some of these masculines, they could have recently kind of come into a period of their life where they feel like they need to start taking control. They could be burying themselves in work, really grinding right now, trying to make extra money and save up and build that solid foundation. Now remember, the Eight of Pentacles leads to the Nine of Pentacles, which is pre-Empress energy. So in the masculine's mind, I think they're starting to realize that if they're going to be with their empress, they need to get up on that same level as their empress. Okay, working really hard, maybe to break free of some sort of a karmic situation and become stable and independent without having to lean on anyone else for financial support. Maybe this is something that the masculine has struggled with all their lives, that they're finally starting to take control. So this is heavy on their mind right now. So what's going on in their heart space for the feminine? How are they feeling about the feminine in the month of February, please? Oop. My goodness. Let me try that again. These cards are kind of giant, so it's a little difficult to shuffle, but that is why I'm trying to handle it behind the camera so I don't knock the camera all over the place. So what is the masculine? Oop. So we've got 2. So in the masculine's heart space, we have the 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Hearts, aka the 8 of Cups. So 3 of Pentacles is collaboration, wanting to work together, wanting to team up and start building that foundation together. Okay, notice there's 2 individuals working on building something, working on harvesting. So I think there's a level of desire for this partnership, but realizing that it's going to take a lot of hard work. Basically, it's going to require building from the ground up. Now, this could also be a situation where you met your divine masculine at work. And with the 8 of Cups showing up right after it, this could be them planning to depart some sort of a work situation even. So in their heart space, they could be really upset at the way things are going at work, and maybe feeling as if they're overworked, constantly being buried in workload and emails and all the other stresses that people deal with in the work environment. So looking at this situation, they could really want to walk away from their current job or career. But since this is how they feel about the feminine, this could simply be them feeling that in their heart they had to walk away because they themselves were not stable. They needed to do the work. Okay, so 8 of Cups is walking away from something that's unfulfilling. So deep down, these masculines already know that the energy they've been pouring into these other connections, and again, 3 of Pentacles can represent a third party situation also. So for some of them, they could be having these realizations, like the more energy and effort that they put into trying to build with these karmic partners or with third-party energies, the more sad and depressed they become, right? So as you can see, this angel looks like they're crying these hearts. And I love the fish here at the bottom. It kind of reminds me of the Lenormand fish, thinking about finances and things like that. So I almost feel like this masculine is kind of upset that they've put in all this energy and effort into whatever situation this might be. And they're aware that it's like all they do is work their ass off, right? All they do is slave away at work and dedicate all their time, their finances, their resources to whatever this collaboration is. Okay, I say collaboration because for some of you, this could involve a work situation. For some of you, this could be family members. It could be a romantic partner, husband, wife, whatever it is. 8 of Cups is saying they're wanting to walk away because they know that on the other side of all of this wasted energy is the opportunity for the 2 of Cups. Okay, so let's talk about how this masculine is currently viewing the feminine in the 3D. How is the masculine viewing the feminine in the 3D? I'm telling you, these cards. I picked them though because they're so beautiful and I hardly ever use them, and I wanted to show them to you guys. So how is the masculine viewing the feminine in the 3D? So we have the 4 of Hearts, and you know what? I'm going to take Oh, it's actually two. I was going to take the one that's sticking out because I kind of feel like it's a story. But first things first, I'm going to have to go ahead and take this card and lay it flat so that I have room for the rest of this spread. And look at that. Universal love right underneath it. So again, going back to what I said about like not romanticizing the twin flame journey, this is all about universal love. It's about connecting to that source of love. So I'm just going to read it to you because it says the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. So I love that that popped up. So anyways, getting back to how the masculine is viewing the feminine in the 3D, we have the Four of Hearts. So they see the feminine as like a major missed opportunity. And I think they're also realizing that the feminine also has spent a lot of time looking back onto the past and feeling disappointed in how things went between the two. And you know, I love how this character here is shrouded. It's almost like she's shrouded in secrecy, okay? It's like she can't say anything, she can't speak, and all she can do is just think of the past. And speaking from a divine feminine's perspective, I definitely resonate with that a lot. And you know, I don't think it's because we want to focus on the past. I don't think it's because we are depressed or sad about just anything that didn't work out. It's like there was so much potential here. And that's what the masculine is seeing. They know how much potential there is, not just was, but still is. But seeing the feminine in this energy, it's almost as if they might be afraid that they're going to miss their opportunity because of the way that they disappointed the feminine in the past. Okay, so continuing on with that, I'm curious to see what these two cards are. Yeah, so what did I say, y'all? The Two of Hearts being the Two of Cups. We have the swans here representing soulmates, twin flames. Okay, two angels up at the top making out. The masculine is in this Eight of Cups energy in their heart because they know, they see the feminine as their true divine counterpart, their match, their equal. So this is true unconditional love, and it's reciprocated. There's reciprocity here. It's not just one-sided. Both lovers coming to the table with their cups full. They know that the feminine is their true potential to be happy, right? And so the Princess of Wands coming in here with her letter, okay? Two butterflies representing two individuals completely transformed, going through the most grueling experiences to emerge from that chrysalis, right? But you can see here, she's pointing to the letter. It's almost like the masculine sees the feminine as the initiator, right? The one who is not afraid to take that leap of faith or that risk towards a new adventure, okay? And I know it's not the Fool, but the Princess of Wands is a starter, okay? This is someone with a lot of creative potential, a lot of ideas, a lot of action and forward motion potential. So we keep talking about the word potential. So the masculine's fully aware that the feminine is the one that could potentially make everything makes sense to them, right? You can see the feminine's pointing to the letter like, look, I wrote you, right? It reminds me of The Notebook. I wrote you. Why didn't you write me back? Like, for some of you, this could be that energy, writing to your masculine, reaching out to them again and again, trying and never getting a response. It's disheartening. Okay, thinking of this energy right here, shrouded in secrecy, never fully being able to express one's heart. Maybe for fear of whatever, right? Whatever you're afraid of. There's an element of secrecy here. So very interesting. I do feel too as if they see the feminine as, again, just in general, someone creative and going after their own passions in life. Either way, the princess cards are messengers. So once more, the initiator energy, the starter, that strike of the match, that first idea or action. It's coming from the feminine. And again, they see that. They can't not see it. So let's talk about their actions moving forward. What are their potential actions based on this energy? How does the masculine intend to move things forward here? Another 2 cards. So, and I kind of bent this one. So we have the 5 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles. So this card came up in the general reading as well. But 5 of Wands indicates conflict, aggression, arguments. This is a passionate, fiery energy. So what did we say earlier? Some difficult conversations may be coming up. And this might have to do with some sort of aggressive energy or back and forth when it comes to their own karmic situations, their own third-party situations. I see this as someone who's desperately holding on to everything that they've got because they're afraid of losing things. Whoever this masculine is, I have a feeling that they've been really scared of putting themselves out or losing out on a financial situation in which, like I said, they've put a lot of hard work into. It's not like this is a story of someone who's just trying to mooch off of someone else. This is a masculine who has been busting their ass in the physical to make sure that there's a solid foundation for whatever partnership this is, whatever third-party situation this is. Now their intentions are to face this conflict head on and still hold on to everything that they can, protecting their assets, holding on to what they've worked for because they deserve it, right? They don't want to have to give all their money over to someone else or, again, lose out on an opportunity to make money. But if there's conflict here, then a true divine masculine is not just going to sit back and watch while their money is drained, or sit back and watch while they're taken advantage of or treated unfairly in a work situation. This masculine is going to face the conflict head on while clinging desperately to their pearls, okay? They're clutching their pearls. They don't want to let go. They've worked hard for their money, and they're not about to just let it slip away. Because if they do that, then what kind of foundation are they going to have when it comes time to come into physical union with the feminine? They're not going to have anything. So they've got to fight for what they have, and that's what they intend to do. It's like, why should I have to fight for what I already earned? Is what I just heard. Damn. So let's talk about this masculine's true desired outcome. How do they want this to go? How are they expecting things to go? What is their desired outcome here? Ace of Wands. Quite literally, the magician's wand reaching out. Look at this hand reaching out to grab. I think that this masculine just hopes that at the end of the day, that they can be the creator of their own universe. They want to take action. This is also the penis card, okay? I'm just going to say it. This is BDE. This masculine is hoping to be able to take action towards their passion, whether that's sexual, sensual energy, or going after some new adventure that they're wanting to partake in. This could be them hoping that they can create a better situation for themselves and be able to start from scratch. Maybe they want to break free from this conflict and be the winner or the victor in this situation. Okay? Either way, the Ace of Wands is that match. Okay? That's just been lit. They're ready to take action and move forward in a new direction. So this is really great energy. So let's talk about what's going on behind the scenes for this masculine. What is something going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of? Yeah, Five of Swords. So this masculine is dealing with the shit right now, coming from all angles. It's almost as if there's a lightning storm and every bolt of lightning is coming down and striking this individual right here. Notice another individual that's shrouded, right? But as you can see, she also kind of looks like a little bit of a puppet master. So I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but whoever this is about, this is someone who has basically brought it on themselves, okay? So any sort of petty arguments or stank-ass energy that this masculine is enduring right now behind the scenes, okay, this could be manipulation, gaslighting, just, again, having to try to compete against someone, okay? They brought it on themselves. And they know that, whoever this is for, they're aware of that, but they're dealing with it. They're trying to, for me, it kind of seems like there's a lot of energy coming at this person. They know that they made it happen, but now also they realize they have no choice but to deal with it and to handle it. So whoever this is, they're aware that they need to handle their business and move forward into a Six of Swords energy, which is kind of funny because when I was shuffling the deck earlier, I did see the Six of Swords. So maybe that's like a confirmation or a sign. Ultimately, this masculine is working on moving away from any sort of difficulties into calmer waters. So let's go ahead and see what's on the bottom of the deck for the overall processed energy for the masculine. And let me also fix my little table here because I almost ripped it off. So I love this. The Four of Swords. Masculine's in healing mode. They're ready to surrender to the universe. They're ready to put any sort of pain from the past behind them. So now that I'm thinking about it, I was reminded of the Seven of Swords energy. So any sort of dishonesty, any sort of hiding or trying to escape accountability, this masculine realizes that in order to get away from that energy, they need to transform. They need to put aside any of their third-party situations and heartbreaking energy into a more positive, peaceful energy where they can begin to heal. So this masculine has spent a lot of time healing and resting and probably working through how to come out on the other side of this energy here. So it's like based on the recognition of needing to heal and put the past behind them, now they have no choice but to move through this difficult energy of fives here. So we've got the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords. They know there's no way out but through. So it seems like the masculines are making a lot of progression. And again, this communication card coming up at the beginning of the reading is very significant because whether or not your divine masculine reaches out to you this month, it looks to me like the conversations they're going to be having are in regards to breaking free from some sort of situation that has not been giving back to them, okay? Whatever they're doing right now, they're in a situation that has been draining them for way too long, and they know that they need to get out of it, okay? So very, very interesting messages coming out for the divine masculine. And I love that I also got a sneak peek at the Six of Hearts underneath that card. We know that this is all about nostalgia, reminiscing on the past. So since we just moved through that Venus retrograde, goodness, and now my throat's all getting scratchy. Since we moved through that Venus retrograde, there was a big, heavy time of review of the past. So it's not a surprise that the masculine would be looking back on the memories they share with the feminine and feeling that sense of peace and happiness that propels them into this Four of Swords energy. Okay, I think a lot of masculines have come to the conclusion that they let go of someone that is really their soul partner, their person, the one that makes them feel happy, the one that has always been there for them. This is a past life connection. So, for some of you, your masculines have had some major revelations throughout retrograde season because, again, we've kind of all been forced to look back at the past, even for those of us who did not want to take that second, third, fourth, fifth look. We kind of had no choice, right? And that was the whole energy of what we just went through. So clearly, based on these cards, the masculine has been going through those transformations and realizations as well. So let's get into the feminine's messages. So what's going on in the mind or the conscious awareness of the... Shut the hell up. So I love that the Seven of Swords just came up again, but it flipped out in the reverse. So again, feminine is acknowledging maybe her own role in this sort of sneaky or sidestepping behavior in the past. This could also be the feminine wondering if the masculine has come out of this energy, if the masculine has begun taking accountability for his actions and the way things have played out between the two of them. But since this is also the conscious awareness of the masculine, she, again, could just be wondering if the masculine is someone she can trust, right? Based on the past and the disappointment of it all, she could just be really wondering, what is the masculine planning? What's going on behind the scenes? If you have not received any communication from your masculine, obviously this could be why you're kind of thinking of this sort of energy. What is the secrecy behind all of it? Why can't you know what's going on? It's that sort of vibe. Like, feminine's just looking for some honesty. And that's about it, I think. So let's talk about what the feminine is currently feeling for the month of February. Oh. Queen of Cups. So feeling full, right? Feeling as if she's taking care of herself, right? Her cup is full. She's not chasing the masculine any longer, but her arms are still extended, right? She's wanting to go on this journey. She's wanting to offer her love and have it be reciprocated. And I think it's kind of funny how we have this mermaid under the sea. It kind of reminds me of the Little Mermaid. And there's that energy of that instant connection, falling in love at first sight, and then being separated by worlds. Okay, wanting to be a part of the masculine's world, extending that cup out and saying, I love you unconditionally, regardless of whether you allow me on this ship or not. Okay, so this is how the feminine is feeling. She's feeling as if her cup is full. And this goes back to what I was saying in the general reading of, excuse me, and needing to love yourself. And by loving yourself, by being strong, by not allowing yourself to give up on love, you're automatically attracting your blessings, your rewards, and all of the manifestations that you've been working on, right? So I think also in the feminine's heart space, she's aware that the love that she offered the masculine was unlike anything else that they've experienced. Otherwise, this connection still wouldn't be relevant, okay? So for those of you who feel like you're constantly being reminded of, or having dreams of, or hearing your masculine's voice, seeing their face, all the signs and synchronicities bombarding you, if someone is not meant to be in your life in some capacity, then you wouldn't be hounded with all of those signs, right? You wouldn't be getting encouraged by the universe to keep your heart open for that individual. And I think that the feminine is understanding that no matter what happens with the masculine, no matter what they've maybe hidden in the past, no matter what the hell's going on behind that cloak of theirs, unfortunately, their heart is always going to be open to coming into union, okay? So feminines, keep filling your own cup, okay? Keep vibrating on that level of unconditional, universal love, because your blessings are going to roll in effortlessly if you just continue to keep your heart open, okay? Obviously using your discernment as always, but as you grow and mature, you become more capable of weeding out those that do not have pure intentions for your heart, okay? So let's talk about how the feminine is currently viewing the masculine in the 3D. Seven of Wands and the Fool. So I know I said earlier it's not the Fool energy, but here we have the Fool popping out anyways. So the feminine is seeing the masculine in a very defensive energy. They could also be aware of their situation in the physical and watching them preparing to fight some sort of battle. And like I said, the masculine's preparing to address these conflicts head on. He's planning to have those conversations and arguments and move past this energy of manipulation and, like I said, that stank ass energy, right? So 7 of Wands is the warrior's pose next to the Fool. They know, they can sense that the masculine's getting ready to embark on a new journey. They know that the masculine wants to take this risk and wants to take this leap of faith in their direction, but it's going to require them to stand up against a lot. Okay, this could be a lot of different individuals. Or this force of 7 wands could just be one person with the energy of a bunch of people, okay? Everyone's situation is different. So feminine is looking at the masculine and seeing them in this energy, ready to stand up for themselves and fight for what they believe in, okay? So let's talk about the feminine's actions moving forward. How is the feminine planning to move this connection forward? What actions are they planning to take? So with the 2 of Pentacles popping up, we've got the Dance of Change, making difficult changes in their life to build a solid foundation for themselves. So again, regardless of what's going on with the masculine, the feminine is still out here fighting the good fight, possibly dealing with some uncomfortable things happening in her life. This could also be like trying to balance your budget, balance your finances. This could also be just kind of a struggle financially, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. So either way, 2 of Pentacles is setting the foundation for the future. Any sort of tightrope energy that you might feel right now, feminine, I think Spirit's reminding you that even though these changes might be difficult, or there might be a little bit of a rough road or rough seas ahead, to stay consistent and to use your discernment and know that these changes are for your highest good. Okay, so let's talk about the feminine's ultimate desired outcome in this situation. The Hermit, which I think is funny because it's the energy that popped out at the end of the general collective reading. So I think right now feminines are really just wanting to go within, right? Focusing on their own enlightenment, seeking wisdom within their own soul, looking within for guidance moving forward, keeping to themselves, minding their damn business, okay? Feminine's goal is to keep to themselves and to keep their nose to the ground, keeping their grindstone on, whatever the fuck that phrase is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Nose to the grindstone, is that it? How come I can never remember that phrase? So feminine's minding her business. She's focused on what's within, because she knows as within, so without. So if you're not good on the inside, if you're not in union with yourself, if you're still having difficulties or doubts or fears, that is what's going to continue to manifest in your masculine's physical environment. So going within is actually going to be beneficial, because the more you go within, feminine, the more confidence your masculine is going to have in their own discernment and their own abilities to take action in their lives. So let's talk about what's going on behind the scenes for the feminine that the masculine is not aware of. Masculines, how could you not be aware that the feminines have been so patient, right? So patient. Sagittarian energy. Temperance is all about divine timing and the perfect order of things. This is about knowing that what's ahead of you, you don't always have to have the answers, right? This is trusting in the divine to keep you on the path. So it's kind of funny, because even though this is Sagittarius energy, her pouring the water into the vase from the bowl kind of reminds me of Aquarian energy. So maybe what the masculine isn't aware of is that the feminine is still technically waiting, okay? Still being patient and understanding of the masculine's journey, being open to the divine bringing them back together. Okay? For some of you guys, your masculines have probably think that y'all have given up all the way up. But behind the scenes, you can't. Like I said, with this Queen of Cups coming out here in your heart space, no matter what happens, no matter what's going on in the physical, no matter what logic tells you you should or shouldn't be around this person, your heart cannot help being open for your divine counterpart. Okay? You cannot help showing compassion and showing unconditional love to the person who is your soul. Okay? It's just not possible. You don't just forget as my voice sounds like a bullfrog, you don't just forget about your twin flame. That's not something you can just do. Okay? So masculine may not be aware, but you are still being very patient on this journey, still being open to divine timing, setting things right, and bringing you back together for a reunion. Okay? And so this card kind of just sitting out here is intriguing to me. So look at that. 3 of Cups. And what did I say? You're still patient and hopeful for a reunion, regardless of external circumstances. And that's really powerful. So 3 of Cups, again, could represent third party. But in this context, I feel like feminines, you're open to it because along this journey, I think not only have you probably met some really great friends and people of like-minded goals, agendas, like thought patterns, heart space. You're meeting people along your journey that are just like you, okay? You're making friends and you're building connections based on this journey. So coming together with these individuals, celebrating friendships, celebrating trust, celebrating love. This is all that you're wanting with your masculine, okay? You want to come together in this energy of trust and love because that's always what it's been about. It's never been about anything else. It's never been about, oh, I want you to choose me and marry me and check off all these things on this list that I think you should do because these are my 3D expectations. No, it's always been about coming together in divine sacred union. Okay? But in order to do that, again, you need to be vibrating on that same high frequency. So as you move through your journey and you connect with these friends and you build these relationships, you also are learning more about trust, about love. So as you expand your own self and become the best version of you, so too will your twin flame. Okay? It's inevitable. So let's look at the bottom of the deck and see what the process energy is for the Divine Feminine. 10 of Wands could not have been a more relevant card. And for those of you who just seen this card and was like, yeah, damn right, I feel this 100,000%. It feels constantly like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, feminine. But with all of this retrograde action being over and everything starting to move in a forward motion, I think this is very symbolic of you're done carrying these burdens, whatever they have been to you. And even though you, similar to the 5 of Swords, kind of brought it all on yourself, right? You accepted these burdens. You felt like they're the things that you needed to do or carry for whatever reason you were justifying at the time. But at the end of the day, there's been an ending of that sort of energy, of that sort of cycle, because you don't deserve to just carry all the weight or do all the work in this connection. You're putting down that burden and you're ending that cycle, moving forward into a more honest energy. Okay, so maybe in the past too, this 7 of Swords energy was you maybe lying to yourself about what this connection should be based on 3D expectations. But at the end of the day, maybe you were just overburdening yourself with all of the things that it shoulda, coulda, woulda been, instead of focusing on what it is that you actually need to do to take care of yourself. Okay? So very interesting energy popping up for you guys. And of course, y'all, I'm about to cry because, of course, as I put down the 10 of Wands, right under it, we have the 2 of Cups. So now the 2 of Cups has come out for the masculine and the feminine. Because, y'all, the feminine has always been searching for this, just like the masculine, searching for this equally, giving energy, okay? not holding back any emotions, showing up and being authentic and available, ready to be in a true partnership. Okay? So feminines, again, maybe in the past you've romanticized, sorry about the camera, maybe you've romanticized the twin flame journey a little bit. And as you moved through the journey, as time went on, you started to really learn what true spiritual union is, okay? It's not everything that people paint it out to be. Like I said, the validation of Valentine's Day coming up. Like, it's never been about that. It's always been about what's in your heart and your soul, right? So I think that in general, the energy between the twins right now is starting to come onto that same page, getting down to the bare basics of what it truly means to be in a partnership and all of the ways that we've lied to ourselves in the past about what a partnership should be. Okay. So let's see what Spirit has to say about any challenges that are being faced right now for the masculine. Okay, so the house is the masculine's challenge. So again, this could be about an actual physical house. This could be about dividing the assets and all of that good stuff, right? Going through a separation. They could be challenged because they might lose their house. They might lose a significant amount of money. But this card represents destiny, okay? It represents the 10 of Cups. The happy ending, getting everything that you've wanted and wished for, a homecoming, a reunion, marriage, blessings, all of these great positive things. And I think that that's exactly what the masculine wants. But unfortunately, as this is coming up as their challenge, it seems like this happy ending is something that has always evaded them. So they may want a happy family, a house, a life, a true marriage, a connection, abundance, but by putting their energy into these other connections that they know damn well they shouldn't have been building on to begin with, again, it's just slipping through their fingers every time they refuse to put their energy on what's truly important, right? So let's see if we have any other cards for the masculine. Any other challenges the masculine's facing right now? The Hierophant. And I love how it popped up on top of the 2 of Cups. So, for some of you, your masculines could be in a marriage, in a committed connection, surrounded by conventional values and things like that, steeped in old religious beliefs and all that sort of thing. But this is also about blind faith, and maybe that's something they've been lacking, okay? So maybe being stuck in a situation of commitment and knowing that they're not with the right one, wanting the commitment, but not being with the right partner. All you could ever really have in that situation is abundance, right? Is physical things. But a lot of times people end up never getting that happy ending because they're afraid of losing out. So going back to that 4 of Pentacles, I feel as if the main challenge for the masculine could just simply be afraid of losing the things they've worked for, which could actually set them up for losing the things that they've worked for, okay? So in a sense, by clinging and clutching their pearls, afraid to lose out on some sort of material things, they're basically fulfilling their own prophecy. So unfortunately, a lot of these masculines may end up going through a situation where they face that aggression head on and end up losing a lot, okay? But at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it, okay? Because this masculine was not in a happy family, happy home situation before all of this happened. Not in this story. Because if this is their challenge, that means it's something that they don't have or that they're trying to achieve that is difficult for them, okay? So let's talk about the feminine's challenges in the month of February. So we have the Twin Flame card, and we also have Justice. So, maybe the fact is the feminine is just waiting for the finalization of a divorce, okay, waiting to end her own karmic situation. I see justice as karmic justice. And with the twin flame energy here, this could simply be saying feminines are waiting for their karmic partners to either go away or waiting for their divine masculines to separate themselves from any sort of karmic situation, okay? So feminine could be struggling to stay balanced, okay? Maybe going back and forth about the pros and cons of the journey. This could be kind of a confusing month, especially if things are not materializing the way that you hope that they will. And again, everyone's story is different, right? So be careful of that pitfall, feminine. It's time to really get grounded and stay balanced and trust that the scales of justice will balance out in your favor, okay? You're divinely protected and guided. Twin flame journeys are not for the weak, okay? There were promises made before y'all incarnated here. And so if this is the journey that you're on and you feel connected via the soul with this person, okay? If there's this unexplainable magnetic attraction that involves mission work, that involves you becoming enlightened, going through dark night of the soul, going through the whole thing, right? Don't forget to stay balanced. Don't allow the illusions or the labels to get you messed up either, okay? Regardless of whether or not you feel like this person is your twin flame, whether you resonate with the title of divine feminine, divine masculine, if none of that means anything to you, then this could be your challenge. You might be faced with kind of questioning the journey, wondering if you're on the right path, going back and forth and trying to weigh like the positive side of staying where you are or continuing to manifest versus the negative side of being doubtful, fearful, and giving up altogether. Okay. And unfortunately, that's kind of the nature of the beast of this journey. You're always going to be teetering back and forth. There's always going to be a fluctuation of back and forth energy. And just like a pendulum, it's going to continue swinging until it finally comes to a resting point. Okay. So if you find yourself challenged in February because maybe, like I said, you're waiting on the divorce to be finalized or you're waiting on karmic justice to be served, I think Spirit's reminding you that it's time for you to have faith in your journey and your purpose here, and just trust with that temperance energy that everything is going to be sorted out the way that it was meant to be, okay? So the mutual challenge here is the apple, which is divine gifts, prosperity, paradise, temptation, eroticism, sexuality. So again, if you guys are in situations where, you know, one or both of you are in other karmic relationships, then February could be challenging because y'all both are going to feel that sexual pull towards one another. You're both going to feel that longing and that temptation, okay, to be with one another. But again, any sort of third-party energy is only going to have you messed up in the end, okay? So if that's the challenge, like wanting to take a bite of that apple metaphorically, then you might need to exercise restraint, especially if there are still third parties involved. So interesting. Let's go ahead and see what Spirit's advice is moving forward. Intense reading, y'all. Let's see what Spirit's advice is moving forward. Ooh. Okay, so we had quite a bit come out. I love that it's like 2 by 2 here. So we have love and self-love, okay? Love and self-love. I just feel like Spirit's telling you to continue to pour that love into yourself, right? Continue to keep your heart open, continue to take care of yourself and put yourself first, okay? And going back to just the universal energy of love, the number 6, we're talking about the 222 portal and all these great things, this being a 6 year, the energy of the lovers making a choice to experience love, to be love, okay? Spirit's really driving this point home. It's time to open your heart up to universal love, okay? Choosing love is the advice here, all right? Choose it for yourself, choose it for others, and don't allow circumstances or, again, the way things show up in the physical to deter you from the journey you know you're on, okay? And then also we had teaching and learning and happy ending. So again, Spirit's saying and I think this is a message for the masculine, whereas this message is for the feminine here. I didn't actually decipher that beforehand, but I just kind of feel like that's where this is going, okay? Especially since we have the house, we're talking about the happy ending that the masculine is wanting, the reunion that the masculine is wanting, but it's not going to come without this teaching and learning energy, okay? So even if you haven't talked to your twin flame, y'all are teaching each other every single day, okay? Y'all are your biggest teachers, and you're learning from one another. These lessons and things that you're going through, I think Spirit's telling you, for the divine masculines that are watching, that this happy ending is inevitable, okay? This reunion is inevitable. It was always destined to happen, okay? But it's going to require a lot of these teaching moments and a lot of lessons learned in order to finally be showing up as our authentic selves, okay? And I think with the masculine, showing up as their authentic self is probably their biggest challenge of the journey in general, because even though the masculine takes action in the physical world, remember, a lot of masculines are deeply seated in those outdated religious beliefs and traditional values, and it takes a lot for them to break out of those norms, okay? So very interesting reading. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards from the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine Energy Oracles and see what the higher selves of the twins would like to say to one another. So, of course, as you already know, you can purchase these decks in my shop on makeplayingcards.com. And as always, I will link those, the decks that I'm using and the link for my shop down below in the description box. So let's see what the feminine has to say to the masculine for the month of February. Oh, y'all, I just looked down at the clock and it was 1:01:44. So 144. I'm sure a lot of you see that number a lot. So let's see what the feminine has to say to the masculine. I vibrate with kindness and unconditional love. I'm done. Okay, the reading's done. We're literally just talking about this. Okay, this is that Queen of Cups energy we just went over. So vibrating with kindness and unconditional love. It's like no matter how hard you try to be cold or closed off to your masculine, it's impossible. Okay? You are the Queen of Cups. You are the Empress. It's impossible for you to not radiate that love and for others to not feel it. Okay? So let's see what else we have. We got a big old chunk down here. I receive your messages in my dreams and visions. So like I said earlier, there could be some 5D communication going on. So pay attention to your dreams. Get a dream journal if you have trouble remembering your dreams. I'm harnessing my feminine energy. So feminine energy is the heart chakra, okay? Heart chakra and above, okay? All of the higher chakras, whereas the masculine rules the lower chakras. So harnessing the feminine energy, keeping your heart open, okay, and experiencing and radiating that love energy, and not being afraid to speak your truth, being willing to have the difficult conversations that need to be had, being open and using your intuition, knowing that the messages that you receive are for your highest good, and also connecting to the divine source through the crown chakra, okay? So we also have self-love is the best love. Once more, right next to the old self-love card. I'm healing past and future timelines by healing in the now. So by staying present and being open to divine timing, trusting in your angels, your guides, the universe, having faith in the messages and the synchronicities that are all around you. I've found union within myself. That's beautiful. And I hope that that is everyone's message. And finally, 999, I am completing a cycle and preparing for union. Oh my goodness, y'all. Let's see what the masculine has to say to the feminine. And before I get to shuffling, here is the cover of this deck. I know I flashed the other one before. So you could actually purchase these decks separately, or you can purchase them as a bundle for a lower price. So yeah, definitely check it out if you're looking for a good oracle deck. What does the masculine's higher self want to say to the divine feminine? Okay, I feel like I'm going to shuffle one more good time and see if we have anything else. So I love that the card that flipped over after I just said that is, I find strength in vulnerability. And we mentioned that earlier, how the masculines are like kind of deeply rooted in these old beliefs where it's like a weakness to show your vulnerability. And that's simply not true, okay? They're finding strength in being vulnerable and being authentic and being real and being honest. Okay, so perhaps this communication card coming up is very significant in the masculine's journey, finally being able to open up and have the conversations necessary to end certain karmic cycles. Okay, we also have, I sleep to dream of your beautiful face. Oh my God. So we got masculines taking depression naps, kind of hoping that they'll be able to meet with the divine feminine on the astral plane. Like, that's kind of sad, y'all. So imagine, everything that you're going through, every hard time that you're experiencing, know and trust and believe that your masculine's on the other side of that coin, thinking about you, wanting to dream about you, wanting to connect with your energy, wanting to just escape reality and go to sleep just for a chance to see your face. That's like hella romantic. So I am learning to let go and accept the things I cannot control. Exactly. And so maybe that's kind of why they've reached this breaking point. Like, they've kind of kept their mouths shut and gone along with the flow, but now they're understanding like they can't control everything. They can't keep everyone and everything together. And by keeping their mouth shut and not speaking their truth, they're only doing themselves a disservice. Okay? So maybe they've stayed in these certain karmic situations because they thought they could get it under control. Maybe they thought they could change that person or control that person's behavior, to avoid the tower moments, right, of complete destruction and separation. But by doing so, they're compromising little bits of themselves along the way. So I was lying to myself about you so I could block out the pain of you not being in my life. So with this Seven of Swords energy that popped up, like I said, that was going to be a very relevant theme for this reading. These masculines are finally being honest with themselves. Okay, maybe they've said some things about you to their friends or people. Maybe they've just kind of told themselves like, no, that was never meant to be, like it never would have worked out. They're this, and this. Maybe finding reasons to pick you apart, feminine, so that they could have an excuse not to be authentic in themselves, right? Because it's easier to put the mirror face down on the table than actually look at it and recognize where you are also responsible and accountable, okay? So 111, I'm ready for a new positive beginning. That's beautiful. I've been seeing 111 a lot. I want to pour my heart out to you. So for some of you, like I said, February could actually be a time where your masculine is ready to reach out, wanting to connect with your energy, because whatever they're dealing with right now ain't it, okay? So they're wanting to be honest and pour their heart out, be authentic, be real, be vulnerable. I'm leaving behind the old paradigm to align with the new. Exactly. Ready for the new adventure, for the new start. and your energy is healing to me. So again, as within, so without, feminine, the more love you pour into yourself, the more open to love your masculine will become, okay? So, very, very interesting reading. I know it was super long, but I feel like it was necessary to be very thorough, seeing as, like I said, I haven't really been posting as often recently. But I promise you guys, this week I'm going to be working on your Valentine's Day readings for the month and putting out some more content in general. So I thank you guys, those of you who have been so supportive, who have stuck around, like I said, and who have been endlessly supporting, reaching out to me, and growing close with me over the last year or so. Again, private readings have been awesome, so much fun. And for those of you who are watching this reading and would like to go even further, like I said, I'm open for private readings. So feel free to check the description box below. My website link is down there, as well as all of my payment links. So just remember, when you submit payment for a private reading, it's very important that you give me your name, your email address so that I can contact you, and then also your zodiac sign or the zodiac signs of any parties involved. But anyways, you guys, I hope that you all are doing so well. I hope that February is going to be an amazing month for you guys. And I love you so, so much. And of course, I will be seeing you again very soon. Bye.